the reason why people are saying that the world is round now and it's a sphere is because they want to push God further and religion further and further away, because they want anarchy and they want you to worship a God that is of monetary value that they can make money and gain power from. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome back to The Rift Unscripted, episode 22. Here and there, everywhere, every Monday and Friday, we're giving you the content, the stuff that you guys need, right? Stuff that you want to be entertained, whether it's be informed, whatever it may be, right? We're here for you every Monday and Friday, coming with a little bit of controversy, a little bit of drama, a little bit of knowledge. Today, we got probably a little more controversy, maybe some knowledge, not much drama though, right?
Yeah, I think mainly controversy.
Yeah, maybe controversy. The first thing that's controversial is I saw this diagram, all right? It was actually on Instagram. I was going through stories. I found this one guy that talks about critical thinking, right, and how it's important to have critical thinking skills. He talked about the earth being flat, okay? And you think about this like 2017, 2018, right, when this all started like becoming a big thing. People were like, oh, the earth is flat, right? Well, heck, this was like in 1490 before Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right, when everyone thought you just fall off the side of the earth. Well, I saw this diagram, right, that showed the reason why, and maybe we can pop it up somewhere, the reason why people are now saying that the earth is round is because it shows you that now there's a universe outside of our Earth, and the universe is infinite, and the stars are far away, and the planets are far away, and everything's so far away, and that the heavens, in you connecting to your God and your religion, is more out there than it is if the Earth is flat, okay? Because this diagram shows the Earth on the top being flat, but there's an underworld, right? And the underworld has root systems and then down to like a core. And so it's almost like it's like the earth is flat on top. Like think of a bowl. All right, Parker, so you got this bowl here. And a bowl.
I've seen it's like a cone. I've seen the pictures. It's like an ice cream cone. It's like kind of rounded on the top and then it goes down to like a point, and then it's like all the dirt and like the roots and stuff down there.
And then on the top is like
an atmosphere, like a bubble thing.
Yeah, like a bubble, like Sandy's tree dome.
Oh yeah.
Think about it like that, right? So it's not round. It's not like a circle. It's a dome thing, right? And the dome is the heavens, and it's like God is right here, like close to us. And so the reason why people are saying that the world is round now and it's a sphere is because they want to push God further and religion further and further away. Because they want anarchy and they want you to worship a God that is of monetary value that they can make money and gain power from in themselves, as opposed to a God that isn't here and a God that is a spiritual realm and that I believe is real and is here and close to me. But some people believe, okay, if there's outer space and then it's infinite, and then there's planets out, then where does God come into place? He's not close to me, nor is he here right now. Right? And so, I don't know, it's an interesting thing where it was like the reason why the earth is sphere is because the people who say that and promote that want the earth to be, or want religion to be gone. They want more atheist. I don't know if it's interesting, at least.
I've heard quite a bit of flat earth theories, a handful that I'm like, that's kind of a good point you're making there.
Yeah.
I don't know, that one seems kind of far-fetched, if I'm being honest.
Far-fetched. Here and there. You never know. Until, seeing is believing, but also seeing is not believing as well. Because you can see something and illusions are crazy. So that's the deal, where sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. And what is there to believe? In the end, it's kind of like believe what you want, and then have bias behind that. Like I met a vegan the other day, who's just everything health related was because another person ate meat. It was the claim. I was like, it's not it. It's not quite it. Maybe that canola oil was getting in there. Oh, maybe it's that processed foods. Maybe it's something to that sort. And I believe that, but he believed that everything that you eat, if it has meat, then it's going to do bad. It's going to cause harm. It's like it's a religion in itself, the veganism. I don't know. I guess it's all kind of what you believe, which another belief that has been popular recently, I think due to the heat, which actually, good thing we're in AC right now because it's literally 105 degrees outside, is climate. But it's not global warming, is it? It's like climate change, right? They changed it.
What do you mean?
Like they used to call it global warming, how the earth was like heating all the time, like in 2008 and stuff, and now they're saying it's just climate change.
I still hear global warming. I didn't really think there was ever. I kind of use them interchangeably. I think they're.
Yeah. Well, I think it used to be global warming was like the thing that everyone was scared of because the world was getting hotter, but then it stopped getting hotter and it was just colder, and then it was climate change.
Oh.
It's like the whole thing. There was a movie that they made where the Earth, where this global warming was happening, and it happened to an effect to where there was ice age. It like froze everything. Because it was like the wind currents changed and the ocean currents, and it like brought all this stuff because the world was getting so hot that all of a sudden just like flipped and then froze everything.
That's probably bad. Like, it's probably not a good thing, but I'm not scared of what would you call it? Like worldwide disasters where everyone's screwed because everyone's screwed. Like,
yeah.
So I mean,
yeah. Well, here's the deal. Fear is a funny thing.
Like if I knew a meteor was coming at Earth and it was going to demolish everybody, I'd be like, "Damn, that sucks." But all right, what am I going to do about it? Like, GG, it's fun. But I'm not going to be like stressing out. So I mean, that's just one of those things where I'm like, global warming. I'm sure there's some merits behind it, but
yeah, what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do?
Exactly. I mean, I guess their thing is buy an EV, buy a Tesla, which I'm an investor in Tesla, so go ahead and go buy one if that's your belief, and then I'll make more money on it. So I'm all for that. But and that's where, it comes back down to money. It's like, maybe there's all these things and these things that people follow. Is it like just monetarily, like a monetary pursuit? Or is it actually like want to do better for this world? You know, the older I get, the more I realize that I think just power is what people want. I don't think people wants to help anybody.
Yeah, speaking of EVs helping people, I'm pretty sure there was some cargo ship coming across. I don't even know where it was, but like an electric vehicle caught on fire on the ship and like burnt everything and all went into the ocean. They said it's like a huge like natural disaster caused by an EV. So it's not helping too much so far.
Yeah, dude, those lithium-ion batteries they're pretty tough. I mean, sooner or later, it's gonna be one of those airplanes. It's just gonna combust, and then the whole airplane's gonna get taken down. It's like, there's an EV for you right there. And the deal, once again, I don't know. I think it comes down to the profits, like the money gained from like energy. So right now, we have a ton of energy being used. All these lights, all these cameras, everything being used, like that costs money, right? All of us, everyone needs power now, needs electricity, and back in the 1800s, you didn't need electricity. You were good with just a candle and a fireplace, right? You were good. Your life probably wasn't as good as we have now. And the Amish people even do that, and maybe they're happier, which is actually proven that Amish people are are among the most happy people on earth. But there's money involved, right, in the back end of it, and fossil fuels, particularly, nowadays come from the Middle East, right? Dubai is a big flourishing city because of the amount of money that they gain from fossil fuels. Well, used to be if you controlled the flow, or if you controlled trade routes, right? With food, with silk, with that sort of stuff, then you can control the population. Nowadays, if you can control the energy, then you can control the population, right? This is particularly important in South Africa, where I just was, and they have these, what's called load shedding, where they'll cut off your power, right, throughout the day. It's like right now, it's like, it's 4 o'clock, coming up on 4 o'clock, power goes out. Power goes out from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You just have to work into your schedule. We're just going to cut it off. And then if you do something bad, they have access to each house. Say you go rob a bank and they know that your house is there, they'll just cut your power off, cut your electricity, your Wi-Fi, everything, just cut it off. Or you don't get it. You pay for it or whatever, you don't get your power. So there's more of control. Just see this with EVs as well. And it's like there's control, but there's also money incentives behind it because Saudi Arabia and Dubai, they're producing a lot of income through oil. In America, I mean, you got West Texas oil, but it's just not like a big commodity. It's not a big producer. We're not making a bunch of money like Saudi Arabia is from producing oil. So it's like maybe if we switch to solar, then we'll be more productive. If we search, battery power, wind power, that sort of stuff, then we can be more productive. We don't have to buy our resources from Saudi Arabia and Dubai. Now they're going to be less productive. And then our country continues to grow above the opposing countries. That could be a thing. Or it could be a combination of that plus control. Plus, we're going to cut off their power. Oh, that vehicle is driving over the speed limit. We're just going to reduce it a little bit because we have access because it's connected to the grid. Whereas gasoline, you can't do that. I can go 120 miles an hour if I want to because it's just how much gas you want to let in the vehicle. Right? So there's a lot of different ways that you go about it. Does it matter in the end? I don't know. If you do something wrong, it's going to matter. Or is it wrong? What's considered wrong then? It's like, because eventually, there's like a law in Texas where you can't spit on the sidewalk. You heard this?
Yeah.
And it was back in the day when people would chew. And the sidewalk is like, and they'd spit on the sidewalk and they'd cause disease and everything. And so it's a law that you can't do that. Well, if you get thrown in jail for spitting on the sidewalk, is that okay? It's like laws are only set in place if they're enforceable. You only follow a law if it's enforceable. So, with the way EVs work, you can very easily enforce the law, right? Have you ever been on like a golf cart and you're driving around on that golf cart and like on a golf course and it's cart path only? You seen that?
Yeah.
So you start easing off and you're like, fuck the cart path and cruise over here and go hit my ball. And then all of a sudden you just get this beep, thing pops up on the screen, says cart path only, and then it says put it in reverse and the thing stops. You're like pressing full gas and you can't go.
No, I've never seen that.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it cuts you off. You're cruising on the cart path, going fast. You're going right up to your ball. You're like, cart path only. Cruise over here, hit up my ball. Start going over there. It cuts you off. It says you had to put it in reverse. And you can't even go, dude. It like you're pressing the gas and you're in forward. It completely shifts off. You press it in reverse. Then it head back. You're on the cart path. Press it in forward again. You're good to go. Dude, they're going to do that same thing with EVs, and why not? It's the law, so it's got to be enforced. So they can enforce it without even law enforcement.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And it's like, maybe that 1995 Ford F-150 might be the way to go, Heck with the boost and the Sirius XM and all that. We'll just cruise on down the road at Swift 98.
I mean, that's one of those things where, I'm not going to worry about it because it's one of the things, what am I going to do about it? But what I'm going to do about it is not buy an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
That's things you can control, but
yeah.
If it's out of my control, then I'm not going to worry about it.
Dude, really and truly, I think, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I think the 90s is the best time to live in. Because think about it. The 90s, technology was there. Right, so you can still watch TV, you can still get on the internet, but it wasn't to a point to where it's like like shifted into what it is now with just control and greed, right? Or attention and seeking fame through YouTube.
Well, living in the 90s when? Just
anytime.
like
of
as
the
a
night.
kid or just in general?
Like if I was in my, like if the 90s could just be spread out for 100 years,
Oh.
you know, like I could just live from a kid all the way until I'm 100 in the 90s. I think that's got to be the best time to live, because then you could have access, like you still text and call. So if my friend was in New York, like I could give him a call, but I didn't have to send him a Snapchat, or I didn't have to see on their Instagram that they were in Ibiza a couple months ago and then get jealous because they were in Ibiza, and then I don't want to call them because they're better than me, right? It's just like, yo, my buddy from college is in New York. Let's give him a call. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
You call him up. You still got video games. So you still have like a sort of technology, but it's not to a point to where it's addictive. Where now, dude, some of these video games, heck, the metaverse, shit's going to be better than real life. You're going to be like fat and overweight and just chewing on your fried chicken, but your guy in the metaverse is like ripped six-pack, and you're like, yo, I would rather be this guy than I would this one in real life. So you just cruise in the metaverse. You got your headset on. You got your hep suit where you can feel everything. You're just like, go do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think the 90s would be cool. I like the early 2000s. I like the time we grew up in, honestly. I think we were young enough in like when technology wasn't super advanced for us to know what it was like. Like,
I agree.
because I wouldn't want to be born into like 50 years from now when the technology's like you don't even know what it was like to not have an iPhone. Like I'm happy I got to experience somewhat of primitive technology, the flip phone. Like that's obviously it's not like old, but it's better than just being born into full VR and like not even knowing anything about.
Think about the kids now though. Like the iPad kids, you seen that?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think we had the perfect time. I think
did,
90s to 2000s being born is like perfect time.
I did too. If you were born after 2010, good luck.
Yeah.
You kind of, the iPhone's already out. Now they got the iPad kids. Now you're just brainwashed from the beginning.
But then again, that's the same thing as, like, I'm sure our parents said the same thing.
With cell phones and
internet.
internet.
And people before them, they're like, we knew it was like to not have phones at all. Then we knew it was like to have the first phone. Like, these kids are being born with already having flip phones. And stuff like that. So, I think it's just getting older. You just...
Yeah, that is it. Because, we definitely had access. But I think now, dude, it's too much access. I think where there's too much clutter. You see depression going all-time high. You see people deleting themselves at an all-time high. You see all this stuff, and it's like, are we moving in the right path? And, dude, really and truly, think about it. Like, if you want, like, nowadays, you want a girlfriend, you go on Tinder. Dude, you go on Bumble. Okay, maybe not girlfriend. You want to hook up. If you want a girlfriend, then you go on another site like Bumble or something like that, right? Whereas back in the day, you actually had to go physically meet up with them, like go on a date. And I guess now you do have to do that eventually, but like you can filter through, like, swipe. Okay, that one's good. Swipe. And then you go on a date. So now you get one more extra layer added on to where it's even more artificial. And then you see these girls and go on this date. There's one that's like, she's attractive. And then you see her in person physically, and you're like, yo, that ain't the same girl. That ain't the same chick that was on here. Like, you can catfish. That wasn't a thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's no catfishing back then. It's getting artificial to a point where it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's the world we're living in now, which is fine because we're living it. We're here to give you guys content. That's what we're doing. So if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.